Hey guys, Mark here. It's been a while since I shot a video for my YouTube channel, at least. I want to show you what we got going on here. I upgraded the Kayak to a Newport 55-pound thrust Kayak series trolling motor. Added on a 100 amp hour battery, simple plug-in. I'll link everything down in the description. But it's working out pretty good. We've got a 12 and a half foot two-person kayak, a Brooklyn Kayak that can hold up to 700 pounds, and it pushes this thing pretty good. Fully weighted down, myself and my son up front, you know, we're pushing 200-300 pounds and a capacity boat that will hold 700. So it's actually working out pretty good. We're able to cover a lot more ground than just paddling around. I'm pretty happy with it.
About to run some waves.
Yeah. Get some water in here? Also added on a kayak cart, which is extremely helpful for this heavy of a kayak. So I'll shoot some video of that as well as how we are loading and unloading. I had to do some custom modifications to the mount in the back, but I chose the center mount just based on a lot of the side mount tiller driven motors are usually mounted off on the side, and just didn't think that was going to push the kayak like I wanted it to. So, all right, I'm gonna run through the full setup that I was showing you on the lake yesterday, and it includes the kayak motor mount that I have adapted to fit to this kayak. There's a lot of standard type tiller mounts out there for kayaks and boats in general. I chose this one because it had pretty good reviews on Amazon. It was made to fit a 55-pound thrust trolling motor. I had to do some additions to the bottom to fit the contour of the back of my kayak, which I 3D printed some wedges and some shims in order for the motor mount to sit nice and flat and level on the back of my kayak. And then I was able to use stainless steel screws and just mount this very solidly to the back, while still be able to use the back handle for transporting the kayak, and then also the drain plug was back here as well, so it had a nice cutout. So it had a bunch of mounting holes, so very adaptable to many of the kayaks out there, I believe. So I'll link to that in the description. One thing I did with the mount is I marked the location, the center location, to the adapter of the trolling motor. I'm not going to be transporting the kayak with the motor on the boat itself. Basically just align it and then clamp the motor on. And with this kayak mount, or this motor mount, we are fairly close to the ends of the clamps. The thickness, you can buy another version with one more thickness that can be added to the motor mount itself, but I haven't had any issues, and it seems like if I run everything nice and tight, it'll clamp nice and securely. All right, so like I said, this is the Newport Vessels Kayak Series 55-pound thrust motor, electronic trolling motor. And the reason I chose this one was because I've got a 12 and a half foot tandem kayak. So 2 people can fit in this kayak. It's rated, can hold 700 pounds, so that would be quite a bit of weight. So I wanted enough power to be able to push the kayak when you are fully loaded. So you never know when you've got fully loaded with fishing gear with 2 people in it, you're going to be pushing a lot of weight. And also this was potentially a kayak that I could use for a hunting trip. So a ton of gear and possibly throw a deer in the front of this kayak. So I wanted enough thrust to be able to push the kayak and go at a decent rate of speed in order to move where we wanted to go. So this is the 55-pound thrust model for this size kayak. I think it's plenty. You saw how fast we were going. It moves the kayak and maneuvers the kayak very well. Then that's mounted here. Again, it's tiller driven. A little bit different than a lot of kayak mounts out there that mount this style of motor on one of the sides. I just thought for steering purposes, it would just maneuver this kayak a little bit better through the water. And then from that, I have a battery box, and that is going to be connected to the battery with a quick disconnect on the motor cable itself. You can then quickly take this on and off, quickly disconnect it from the battery, and from here the connector is on the battery box, and the battery that I purchased was also off of Amazon. The link will be in the description. I used a 100 amp hour battery, lithium ion, and the reason for that is we were out in the lake for 4 hours yesterday, and we were out the day before as well, and both days we had plenty of battery power. On the motor itself, it does show you a battery indicator as far as how much charge is left on the battery, so that's another good feature of the motor itself. Everything is very mobile so that you can take this on and off, put the battery in and out, and so I'll link everything that I put in the description. The one last addition that we added to this kayak was a scupper mount. So this is a sit on top kayak, a scupper mount kayak cart. A lot of kayak carts out there are strapped to the bottom and then you go. This one doesn't require any straps. It's got 2 prongs that fit up through the scuppers. The distance between the 2 prongs that go up are adjustable, and I gotta say I purchased one with the 10-inch wheels. I'll link that as well. This is probably one of the better additions to this kayak because it is a longer kayak. It's got some weight to it. Without anything in it, it's 70 pounds. With the battery, which is 20 pounds, with the motor, that's another 20 pounds. Seats and fishing gear, you're over 100 pounds, and trying to move this boat from the truck into a lake or a river, over brush, over sticks, over some uneven terrain. The 10-inch wheels really allow you to get over any obstacles in the way. The only thing that I would say is not that easy is when you actually have to when you're done fishing, you bring the boat back and you have to tip the kayak to put the kayak cart into the scupper holes. You'll figure out a system for that. I think we've got a good system for that in order to get the kayak cart up under the boat. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm getting more into custom 3D printing for kayak fishing and kayaks in general. So if you want to see more projects like this, like and subscribe and follow along.